Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today, I'm bringing you the most insane TBR of all time. Now, you might be wondering, why is this the most insane TBR of all time? It's not to do with the number of books that I'm planning on reading, although that is a very large number. It doesn't have to do with the fact that I'm trying to accomplish two readathons in 1 month, because tried that before, worked out okay. It's just, the books that I decided to pick for both of these readathons they're big. They're really big, and I don't know what I was thinking, and I don't know who picks these big books for readathons. Let's get to it. So, of course, the two readathons I'm talking about are 1, The Magical Readathon by G from Book Roast, and 2, Becca's Bookoplathon by Becca from Becca and the Books. It was very tricky, and I wish I could be one of those cool people who could, like, do live rolls with you and all that stuff. I got sick. You can probably still hear it in my voice. So I wanted to start picking my TBR. Now, for context, for the Magical Readathon, I have decided to pick 2 books for your magical path, so that way you can make it to our Magical Academy for the next readathon. The character read, I'm gonna do, like, I'm building my character, right? I decided that I want to be from Etheria, I want to be an Earthling, and I specifically liked the green Earthlings. I'm not explaining this very well, but I specifically liked the green Earthlings, like the ones with like hooves and stuff like that. I don't know, it just like sounded way cool. And then I want to be a wildling. I think I got all of that in the right order. So that's my context for the Magical Readathon and the character I'm planning to build. Now for Becca's Bookoplathon, I rolled some wild rolls. Thanks a lot. I was originally going to roll 4 times, and I got 2 doubles. So for Bookoplathon rules, anytime you hit a double, you have to roll again. So my total ended up being 6. It didn't end up being that bad. But combining my books between the 2 different prompts that I got was where I got super stuck for building my TBR. And that's how I wound up with the books that I got, because I didn't know what else to do. All right, so let's start with a book that has nothing to do with either readathon, actually. This is The Shadow of the Gods, written by John Gwynne. This is actually my Patreon buddy read for the month of September. This is our very first buddy read as a group. If you want to be a part of that, my link for my Patreon is down below. This is a brand new book and a brand new trilogy by John Gwynne. I just got done gushing about Wrath in my August wrap-up, so I think I'm going to post them like in mixed order. So you'll hear all about that, but I'm super in love with John Gwynne right now. This is a brand new Norse-inspired trilogy. The people that I know who have read this book have had nothing but great things to say about it. It's like become one of the favorite books for a lot of people of the year. So I'm very excited and hyped to begin this with my patrons for this month. And then we'll also be doing a live show with the patrons to talk about it. So I'm very excited. Somehow in the midst of these 2 readathons, I'm also going to fit that book in. So let's start with my roll number 1 for Bookoplathon. I was fresh-faced, feeling really good. I rolled a 4 and I rolled a 1, which brought me to TBR Veteran. So a book that's been on your TBR for a very long time. And then for my path in the Magical Readathon, I decided to go with the Novice Path Entrance, read a book with a map. So super easy as a fantasy reader, right? I decided to combine both of those books for me. And this is the biggest book on my TBR. I'm excited to read it. I just don't know how I'm going to fit this into a readathon. This is Oathbringer, written by Brandon Sanderson. Book number 3 of the Stormlight Archive. I actually just posted my book, I just posted my video on the Words of Radiance spoilers, so if you want to go check that out, it's already up on the channel. But this is going to be a really epic book for me. Super excited. We actually finally follow along with Dalinar Kholin, who is one of our main characters, and I've been really intrigued to learn more about his past, and we're going to find more about his past in this book. There's a lot more secrets that have been revealed at this point. What can I say? I'm gonna finish this book, but can I finish all of the other books on top of this? I literally don't know. So we will see. This is the like biggest, what was I thinking? Why is this in a readathon? Anyways, Oathbringer, written by Brandon Sanderson. So then every book after this, I decided I would fill out the prompt for the Bookoplathon because those were like based off of like very specific roles. So I didn't have as much flexibility to change things around. And I didn't really change anything around for my character in the Magical Readathon either. But I felt like I had less room to wiggle and play with the Bookoplathon. So roll number 2. I rolled a 1 and a 2, which brought me to a chance card. Honestly, just asked my husband to pick a book, which I feel like is chance enough. This one, I think, is one of the only ones from Bookoplathon that I wasn't able to double over into the Magical Readathon, which is just fine. So that is going to be Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm going to listen to this one on audiobook. I don't have a physical copy of this book anymore. It just somehow managed to get purged from my bookshelves. I don't know how or why. If I end up liking it on audiobook and want to continue, then I'll probably reconsider whether or not I want a physical copy on my shelves. Now, this book recently came back around as something that I might want to check out after watching Becca's vlogs, our lovely creator of the Bookoplathon, and how emotionally distraught and invested she has become in this whole Red Rising trilogy. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's another book series with a caste system. I just got done reading a caste system with the Merciful Crow duology, where Reds have been super oppressed and they want to do an uprising, hence the title of the book. I know there's a ton of people who have already read this one, so I don't have to go into too much detail, but that's pretty much all the detail that I know about it, and I'm pretty excited about it based on Becca's reaction. Roll number 3, this is where I got my first double. I rolled a 6 and a 6, and it brought me to the space current events, so it had to be something that was talked about in media or a nonfiction book. And I was able to double this up with the Magical Readathon, and my next part of my path to the Magical Academy was The Mist of Solitude, which was to read a standalone. So I thought I could combine some type of nonfiction book as a standalone, because there's not many series on those. And again, I'm listening to this on audiobook. That is Over the Top, Raw Journey to Self-Love, written by Jonathan Van Ness, famously one of the 1/5 of the new Queer Eye group, and so much more. I love listening to their podcast. I'm subscribed to their YouTube channel. Big fan of Jonathan Van Ness, and I'm surprised that I hadn't read their biography yet, their autobiography. So that's what this one is. And this one should be really easy for me to accomplish and double up on. I'm very excited. Again, big fan of them. Bookoplathon, now I was originally going to roll 4. Now I'm up to my roll number 4 out of 5. I rolled another double. This time I rolled a 4 and a 4, and I landed on Opulent, which was find some type of book with a beautiful cover or some type of gilded edges, metallics. And I decided to double this up with my province pick for Etheria. I'm going to have to watch the video again and figure out how to pronounce that. This was more or less like me trying to fit Bookoplathon with this prompt, because I knew I was going to read this prompt, which is read a book that features fae or elven creatures. And if you knew me, you knew I was going to continue on with Queen of Shadows, written by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 4 of the Throne of Glass series. And honestly, it's the most cheating aspect of the opulence. But I figured, since it's a little bit metallic in the title, I could combine them. I know, if you knew how much I was struggling to make all of these prompts fit together, you would understand why I'm cheating this way. But anyways, this is book number 4, Queen of Shadows. We follow along with Selena Sardathian again. I feel like she's in a much more powerful place than she was in the first 3 books, starting at the beginning of this one. But I could be proven wrong. And I'm really excited to join back in with Manon and the Witches and Abraxas. Love him. So yeah, I just wanted to read this series, continue on with this series. And it was convenient that I had a fae pick. So here we go. Queen of Shadows, written by Sarah J. Maas. We're now on to roll number 5 out of 6 after that last double, where I got 2 and a 1 on the Bookoplathon board. And that was to steal a book from someone else's TBR. And this is where I had the biggest problem. Believe you me, when I said that I was on Twitter, I was on the Bookoplathon Twitter, constantly looking at TBRs of what people had been posting. I was on there multiple days, multiple times a day to try and find something. And then once I found something, could I make it fit with the Magical Readathon? And luckily I did. And this is where things started getting really tricky with me, because if you look at the other 2 physical books that I have, they weren't very short. I managed to make, Red Rising and Over the Top. Those aren't that big, but now I was getting into some like fat books. But this was like honestly the only one that I could make fit. So this is House of Earth and Blood, written by Sarah J. Maas. So I've got 2 Sarah J. Maas books on my TBR. Another big book. But this is going to fit with Steal a Book from someone else's TBR. I saw this pop up a couple of times. And then this is for my Earthling heritage. And I had to read a book with an elemental magic or an element word in the book series or title. Earth and Blood. This was a hard prompt to fill. Because I had gotten very attached to building my character as an Earthling. I didn't want to give that up, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. The other pick could have been Rule of Wolves, written by Leigh Bardugo. Or not Rule of Wolves, excuse me. King of Scars. I hadn't read King of Scars yet. Because, you know, we got Grisha with some elemental magic, but I don't know. This one just spoke to me more, and I could steal it off someone else's TBR. Honestly, I don't remember what this book is about. It's another Fae book. Oh, gorgeous. I didn't even see this end page. Did anyone else know about this? Wow. I had no idea that was there. That's stunning. Well, now I'm even more excited to read this. Thanks, SJM. Let's put the dust jacket back on. Okay, so I really don't know what this book is about. I know I have so many booktube friends who have read it already, so you might want to tell me in the comment section below. But it's been on my shelf for a little bit. I just hadn't anticipated getting to it anytime soon. This is Sarah J. Maas's first adult novel. That I do know. There's demons. This is from the front flap. There's demons. Angels. Are there fae? I don't remember if they were fae or not. I'm really glad I didn't use it as my fae prompt. Anyways, this is House of Earth and Blood, written by Sarah J. Maas. So sorry, because there was no actual description. It's just, I know it's her first adult novel. Then my final roll for the Bookoplathon, roll number 6 out of 6, I got a 4 and a 2, which brought me to POC rep, Persons of Color rep. And I don't think this one overlaps. This one doesn't. It's really short because it's a novella. The Red Threads of Fortune, written by Neon Yang. They have written the Tensoret series, and I've read book number 1, which is The Black Tides of Heaven. So this is book number 2 of the Tensoret series. This really cool Asian silk punk fantasy with non-binary characters and done in like this really cool way. The first book was about 2 twins, and in this society, children don't confirm their gender until much later on. I thought this one would be a good one, a good short one, because of all the big fatties that I had already, and because my final pick is another big one, and oh god, I just don't know if I'm gonna get to it. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. So this is the final prompt for the magical readathon, so that way I can get my wildling background. It says, read a book largely set in a forest or outside. It's The Eye of the World, written by Robert Jordan. Book number 1 of the Wheel of Time series. So I feel like this is like an on-the-road story from what I know about this. A group of friends in a small town, big fantasy epic adventure, but like they get started on their epic adventure, which means they're outside a lot of the time. I don't know if I'm gonna get to all of them. Oh my gosh. But here's where, okay, I don't want to like advocate cheating in a readathon, but here's where I might cheat a little bit. G from Book Roast, creator of the magical readathon and the creator of this like super insane new magical world, oh my god, she did say that you only had to pick 2 books to make it to the Magical Academy for the next readathon. She also said that your character building prompts could be done over time as long as you built your character by the start of the next readathon. I hope I wasn't misinterpreting what she said, but that's what I heard. So if I have to like pause on any of these books, I might pause on The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan if I can't get through like the massive book that is Oathbringer. Because this is like the first priority read on my TBR that I'm going to try and do. I'm also going to do it exactly how I did it last time. I'm going to use Kindle, I'm going to use the physical book, and I'm going to use audiobook to try and smash through Oathbringer as best I can. So that's why it's my most insane TBR of all time. Alright, let me know what you think about my picks in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about all these books for 2 readathons. It's wild. Yeah, It's wild. We'll see. But if you want to talk to me in the comment section below, love to have you. Follow me on my social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's at whatcassread. Super easy for you to find. I'm on Goodreads. You can find me there. And you can find me... Oh, Luna! You gonna stretch? Wanna help me tell them? She's gonna help me tell you all about my brand new Patreon. The link you can find down below. And if you want to join us on our Patreon buddy read, that information is down below. Thanks, puppy. Thanks, puppy. Such good help. Such good help. What do we say next, Luna? What do we say next? So you guys know how these videos end. Talk to you later. Bye.